This radio here is the Emerson 911 Eldorado. It's a 9 transistor coat pocket radio with an RF stage. This one's got a nice kind of salmon colored case, or perhaps orange. It's kind of on the borderline between those two colors in my mind. The front of the radio is silvered plastic, and it's often quite worn. This one's in great shape though. I replaced all the electrolytic capacitors in this radio, and I also had to bridge some broken traces on the circuit board, and now the radio works pretty well. So let's hear it play.
Shedless treatment.
When it gets to a certain point when you're like, okay, let's take that sports portion of the story, let's put it over here for a second, and let's talk about a guy's life. Are we there yet with Derek Fisher?
Maximum of 2,500 points per gas purchase. See Eldorado.com for details. The warm weather is finally here, and the tape for
Casey Kane, Kyle Larson, Joe Moore, make up waiting. When are you going to push back, Speaker Ryan? When are you going to push back, guys? When are you going to start to...
This season, get what you need for the work you do at Gear Corps, Valley Plaza Drive, Johnson City. Yankees on your radio, music on your computer. Listen live at us969.com.
It's around 2:30 in the afternoon, so that's quite a few stations for this time of day. The radio is fairly sensitive to interference, as you heard. The sound quality is really good though when it's away from all these modern electronics. That is often, unfortunately, the trade-off though. The more sensitive a radio is, the more interference they generally pick up. It's an earphone socket on the back there. It's actually easier to open it by pressing down on this part of the case and then lifting up than it is to try and open it by the coin slot for whatever reason. Maybe a little hard to see in there, but it has a 3-section tuning capacitor, so it does have a true tuned RF stage. There's that broken trace I had to bridge there. I guess it was just one on this particular example. I have 2 of this model. The other one had more broken traces. Runs off of 4 AA's. There's a little plastic holder here for the bottom ones. You gotta be a little careful taking the last ones out there without breaking the holder. Battery contacts are pretty clean on this one though. There's the serial number there. That first part is printed on the sticker, and then this second part here is stamped on there. I guess that's the true serial number, 11720. And it looks like it says EVL there. Not sure what the story is with that. See, it's got a good size antenna as well. Like a lot of later Emerson radios, there's no output transformer on this radio, so there's a center tap on the battery compartment. It's this connection here. That screw there attaches it to the circuit board. I also have the original case for this set. The handle's real leather. It's looking a little worse for wear. The rest of it though is vinyl covered cardboard. Pretty typical for later American made transistor radios. It was just one way they could save money, but they don't usually hold up very well, and you don't really want to store the sets in there. They can often cause corrosion on the metal parts of the radio. You can see the metal parts of the strap are corroded. have a second example of this model, which looks pretty good from the front, but then you look elsewhere on it and it's pretty beat up. I had bought this one for its chassis, which was playing, because this one wasn't working. But the issue turned out to be, oh, actually there was more than one circuit board trace repair needed. The other one's there. This lead here, which I believe goes to the antenna there, yeah, had kind of lifted up and torn the traces on both sides. So it just completely broke that connection. So after repairing that and this one here, the radio worked okay, and then I changed the caps and it worked great. So then I didn't really, you know, fully need to buy this. Although I also got the battery spring out of this one here, but not before I had recapped this one. So maybe I'll come across another one of these that doesn't play, and I can just drop this chassis in there. This one also had 2 broken traces right there. It's not that uncommon with these early circuit boards, which weren't reinforced with, you know, fibers. If you see damage to the case like this, there's a pretty high likelihood that the, you know, circuit board is also cracked. It's got a pretty good front though, so that could possibly be removed and transplanted onto another set. I'll see what I do with this. It's too good to just scrap now though. I put too much time into that chassis. Alright, thanks for watching.